we are short of transformer. We have only one transformer that is serving the entire community. And this transformer is loaded. We bought the transformer ourselves. We contributed money after we experienced a lot of blackout for so many months.
The complaint is common across the country, so much so that recently the Ad hoc Committee on Electricity of the House of Representatives organized a special forum to meet with community development associations in different geopolitical zones at the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, to discuss issues on excessive charges and other anomalies.
We have poor supply of electricity, to the extent that they hardly give up to 5 hours in a day, and they do what they call rotational. I personally went to NEPA office to find out what is the problem. They said we don't have transformer in area A. That's one. 2, high bill. My hotel belonged to UFA, Hotel Owners Forum, Abuja. The bill they give us is always very high, whether there is electricity or not.
Most of the transformers in our area are private, active community transformers. We are the ones that contributed money to buy the transformers. So when we want to buy the transformer, the NEPA people encourage us that when we buy, there will be less bill and other stuff like that. But like we now, we have our own private transformer, but we are still charged a lot. And there is this case of high bill. Sometimes the bill are extremely very high. And we deal in yogurt and ice block businesses. So during the dry season, that's when we really make money. But then the NEPA will not be stable at all. So during the rainy season, that's when the NEPA will be stable. But then there's no any business then, since it's cold time. So, and then still the NEPA people, the bill they provide for the dry season, that's the same bill that they'll still provide for the rainy season. So want the House of Reps to adjust that so that during the rainy season, the bill should be different from that of the dry season.
Engineer Israel Ajibola from Rewa.
Members of the House of Representatives take account of the complaints with consideration to the law. They promise a balance in their approach to the issues raised.
That despite the laws, I think it is not bad if there are incentives for those who might help the discourse themselves. For example, if we are all aware that there are decays in infrastructure like transformer, poles, cables, and all the rest, and you have individual or community coming together to assist you, buying transformer, donate it, as much as possible, even if law does not allow that. I think it is only reasonable in the business notes to find a way of appreciating them.
No meter, no pay was on MD customers. And to the best of our knowledge and from available facts, AEDC and some other discourse had complied 100%. What we said, I want to repeat, is that under the regulation is that no new connection without meter. No meter, no new connection. But we have observed as regulators that this regulation cannot be kept by distribution companies as a result of pressure from the customers. When you build your house, you apply for meter, and before even they come, they say, no, connect me. Connect me anyhow. You induce them, and you make them to go contrary to the regulation. At the end of the day, you still come back to complain. Why can't we wait? The regulations are there. Within a certain period, you must be connected. No meter, no new connection.
The issue of metering is not new in the discussion of balancing the equation of power supply, which is why the federal government has now introduced a third party into the supply chain.
The meter asset providing that the NEC just came up with, that now encourages third-party meter provider to now provide meter, because the customers have been complaining that they have been billing estimated billing. Now, this MAP regulation has removed the responsibility of metering from the DISCO to third-party meter provide financiers to bring in meter, put it for the customers, and amortize these meters over time. This is a very good area. I believe that investors will come in.
And in the midst of the challenges, investment opportunities abound and various perspectives to the solution and way forward to generating and distributing sufficient power in the country.
The way forward is that we must sit down again. And when they are sitting down, I will be there, I will sit at the back and design a conscious master plan on how to run electricity in Nigeria. We must sit down and look at privatization. Who are the people they sold it to? What is their capacity? Now, if you sold 60% of electricity in the country for 5 years, Nigerian government, can you declare the profit on 40%?
One thing that I think I'm very, very happy with what is happening today in terms of how government is working to resolve this issue is their direct intervention in supporting the distribution company in improving their network. I understand that the government is making an effort through the CBN to provide direct intervention to improve the discourse network and then ensure that more monies are being collected from the value system. But what basically we need to do today is government need to take its hardcore and rebase the tariff. Do the baseline loss, know what today is the loss factor in the distribution. Agree on how these losses are going to be reduced over time. If it is 5 years, assuming if it's 5 years, and the DISCO has 60% loss, which means he's only collecting 40%, and he is going to reduce this 60% over 5 years. It means that each year is going to reduce a component of that loss, maybe 10%. It means that he must be able to collect 50% of all the energy he receives. Then government must bring in the remaining 50% loss to make it whole in order for the sector to work. With that, it means that you have 100% cost. Because loss is not something you can close in a day. All over the world, when an entity, distribution entity is being privatized, those baseline loss systems are always established. And government always intervene to be closing those baseline year by year until the period, the whole thing is finally closed. It happened in India. That is the same structure they use. Government was intervening year by year until all these things are closing. But immediately the government, any of the year, the government refused to bring in what they are supposed to bring in as part of that loss component. It means that the loss will keep widening. When this new investor took over this asset, the loss was minimal. The loss was about, some had about 40%, some about 35%. And each of them committed in their performance agreement, we are going to reduce these losses over 5 years. It means each year, they are only accountable for the percentage they are to reduce. The government ought to bring that percentage loss, which they have acknowledged, and make the system whole. It means everybody in the value chain will get their money. The man in the gas will get his money, the generation will get his money, the transmission will get his money, the DISCO too will also make some money because they invested money. On that, everybody will be happy. It means the DISCO, everybody in the value chain will have to invest additional money to improve your own because you have key performance indicators that you must meet.
As they say, the struggle continues, so Nigerians continue to ask for better infrastructure and better electricity supply. And hopefully, one of these days, electricity will be off the demands list of Nigerians. Well, that's our story. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ini John Mekwa.